Have you ever wondered why you feel calm in one place, but restless and heavy in another, even when nothing around you has changed except the colors on the walls? This is not a coincidence. This is not random. This is the silent language of your environment, speaking to your mind, shaping your emotions, and guiding your energy every single day without you even realizing it. Colors are not just decoration. They are codes. They are signals that your brain interprets in ways you don't consciously control. Science has proven that every shade carries a vibration, a psychological weight that presses on your thoughts, your moods, and even your level of motivation. And yet, most people ignore this truth. They paint their homes without thought, fill their rooms without awareness, and then wonder why they feel tired, unfocused, or uninspired within the very walls meant to give them comfort. Imagine this. Your home is supposed to be your sanctuary, your place of peace and restoration. But what if the very walls around you are stealing your energy? What if your environment, instead of lifting you up, is quietly draining your strength day after day? That's the hidden power of colors. They don't ask permission. They work on you whether you notice them or not. Think about the last time you walked into a bright, vibrant space. Did you feel a sudden spark of life, a burst of motivation, an urge to move forward? Now compare it to the feeling of stepping into a dull, heavy, lifeless room. Your chest tightens, your mind slows down, and suddenly you don't feel like doing anything. That shift is not in your imagination. It is in your psychology. It is your brain reacting to signals it cannot ignore. Psychologists call this color psychology, the study of how different shades influence human emotions and behaviors. And here's the truth. Your surroundings are silently programming. The shades around you can make you more confident or more doubtful, more focused or more distracted, more hopeful or more hopeless. And here lies the danger. Most people live in homes decorated with colors that don't match their dreams. They live in spaces that silently hold them back, never realizing why motivation feels so far away. This is why today's video is different. Because what I'm about to reveal is not just design advice, it's a wake-up call. There is one specific color that should never find a place in your home. Not in your living room, not in your bedroom, not in the spaces where you want peace, progress, or focus. This one color has been proven to trigger emotional states that weaken the human spirit, block mental clarity, and even disturb inner balance. And yet, so many people unknowingly invite it into their lives and then wonder why progress feels like a struggle. But here's the reward for staying until the end of this video. Not only will you learn what this one color is, you'll also discover which shades can do the exact opposite. Colors that fill you with energy, focus, and calm. You'll see how to use your environment as a tool, as a secret force that fuels your journey instead of slowing you down. Because once you understand the power of color, you can redesign not just your home, but your mindset, your energy, and your future. So let me ask you again, if one simple choice of color could either lift you up or hold you down, wouldn't you want to know the truth? Wouldn't you want to protect yourself from a silent thief of motivation? Stay with me, because what comes next might just change the way you look at your surroundings forever. 2. The psychology of colors. Every color carries its own silent message, and your mind receives it whether you realize it or not. When you see a color, your brain doesn't just record it. It reacts to it. It triggers feelings, releases certain chemicals, and even influences your heartbeat, your focus, and your energy. This is why some places instantly calm you, while others make you restless or drained. The effect is real, and it's backed by human psychology. Colors shape emotions faster than words. A single shade can whisper safety, passion, strength, or fear. Your mind is wired to respond instantly because throughout history, colors signal survival. The red of fire meant danger. The blue of the sky meant safety. The green of fields meant life and growth. These instincts still live inside you. That's why colors in your home are never neutral. They are constantly programming your thoughts and feelings in the background. Think about how you act when you feel inspired. You move with energy. You take risks. You believe in possibilities. Now think about how you act when you feel drained or hopeless. You avoid effort, you delay decisions, you shrink your vision. What if I told you the color on your walls could be pushing you toward one of these states every single day? That is the hidden truth about color psychology. It silently shapes the way you live without a single word being spoken. Your environment is not just decoration. It is a mirror of your inner world and a fuel source for your energy. When the wrong colors surround you, they slowly eat away at your drive, your clarity, and your belief in yourself. But when the right colors surround you, they awaken something powerful inside you, a constant reminder that your life is not meant to be dull, but vibrant and full of movement. This is why understanding the psychology of colors is not just about design, it is about taking back control. It is about refusing to let your environment dictate your emotions and instead choosing to build a space that feeds your highest potential. 3. Why your environment shapes you. The walls around you are more powerful than you think. Every day, your environment whispers into your mind, shaping how you think, how you feel, and even how you act. You may not notice it in the moment, but over time, the energy of your surroundings decides the level of motivation you carry within. Your brain is constantly scanning for signals. It looks for comfort, safety, and inspiration. When your home radiates the right signals, your mind feels at ease, your body feels lighter, and your spirit feels stronger. But when your environment carries the wrong signals, it quietly pulls you down. You may wake up feeling heavy, avoid important tasks, or struggle to find clarity, and you won't even know why. The truth is, it's not just you, it's the energy your environment is feeding you. Think of your environment as a garden. If you plant the right seeds, water them, and give them sunlight, they grow strong. If you neglect them or fill the soil with poison, the garden withers. Your home works the same way. The colors, the light, the arrangement, all of it is the soil for your mind. Whatever you plant there will either grow motivation or kill it slowly. This is why people who change their environment often feel like they've changed their life. A new space can reset the way you think, just like a fresh start in life. It proves that what surrounds you becomes what shapes you. If your environment is heavy, you carry that heaviness in your heart. If your environment is bright and full of energy, you carry that brightness into everything you do. Your surroundings are not just walls and objects. They are silent teachers. They can either teach you strength or weakness, focus or distraction, hope or despair. And the colors inside your home are one of the strongest lessons. 4. The hidden influence of wrong colors. Most people believe their lack of energy comes from bad habits, lack of sleep or stress, but often the root is closer than they think. The wrong colors in your environment quietly drain your spirit every single day. They sit on your walls, in your furniture, in the spaces you see when you wake up and when you go to sleep. Without a word, they lower your drive and blur your focus. Your mind works like a sponge. It absorbs whatever surrounds. If the colors around you are dull, heavy, or unbalanced, they soak into your mood. Over time, you stop noticing them consciously, but your subconscious never stops reacting. That's why some people feel trapped without knowing why. Their own environment is holding them back, disguised as harmless decoration. Think about it. When you spend hours in a room that sends the wrong signals, your body adapts to that energy. You might feel restless, yet unable to act. You might feel tired even when you've rested. You might feel uninspired even when you have big goals waiting for you. This is not weakness, it's your environment programming your state of mind. Colors have the power to either lift you or cage you. They can spark creativity or bury it under layers of doubt. The wrong shades create invisible walls inside your head, walls that limit your belief in what's possible. And when you live inside those walls long enough, you start to think that heaviness is normal. But it's not. It's the influence of colors working against. This is why being mindful of your environment is so important. Your home should not be a place that drains you. It should be a place that restores you, fills you with courage, and pushes you toward your goal. One wrong color can undo all of that, turning your home into a silent weight pulling you backward instead of forward. 5. The science behind emotional reactions to colors. When you look at a color, it doesn't just stay on the surface of your eye. It travels deep into your brain, activating areas connected to memory, emotion, and decision-making. Your nervous system reacts instantly, often before you even realize it. That's why certain colors can calm your heartbeat, while others can make it race. This is not imagination, it's biology. Studies show that colors can influence hormones in your body. Bright, warm tones can release chemicals that boost energy and alertness. Cooler, balanced shades can reduce stress and bring peace, but the wrong shades do the opposite. They confuse your system, trigger feelings of tension, or drain motivation. You may feel slower, heavier, and less willing to take action, all because of the constant signals your brain is receiving. Your subconscious is especially sensitive to these signals. Even when you are not paying attention, your mind is recording and reacting. That is why people often feel off in certain rooms without knowing why. Their bodies are responding to colors as if they were real experiences, because to the brain they are. A dull or dark shade may remind your mind of danger, emptiness, or confinement, leading to unease. A bright, uplifting shade may remind it of growth, safety, or possibility, creating hope and strength. This is why color psychology is not about preference, it's about response. It's not simply whether you like or dislike a color. It's about what that color does to your system every moment you live around it. Your heart, your mind, your energy levels. They are all influenced in ways too subtle to notice immediately, yet powerful enough to shape your entire lifestyle over time. Understanding this science gives you the power to take control. You no longer have to be a passive receiver of the signals around you. By choosing the right colors, you can direct your own emotions, strengthen your focus, and build an environment that keeps pushing you toward growth instead of holding you in place. 6. The color to avoid builds suspense. Now that you understand how deeply colors affect your psychology, it becomes clear why choosing the wrong one can be dangerous. It is not about personal taste, it is about the silent influence that surrounds you every day. Some shades build you up, while others quietly pull you down. And among them, there is one color that stands out as especially harmful when placed inside your home. This color is not just neutral, it is not simply dull, it actively works against your motivation. It creeps into your subconscious and creates an atmosphere that drains life rather than giving it. You may not notice it at first. You may even believe it looks clean, simple, or harmless, but slowly it begins to affect your mood. It builds a sense of heaviness, a lack of energy, and a quiet resistance to progress. Think about how your mind responds to spaces that feel lifeless. You hesitate to act. You avoid making bold decisions. You lose the spark that pushes you to grow. And this is exactly what happens when this color surrounds you. It doesn't scream loudly, but it whispers negativity into your thoughts. And the more time you spend in that environment, the more it becomes your normal state of mind. The danger lies in how subtle it is. You won't wake up one day and notice an obvious change. Instead, you slowly feel your energy fading, your hope shrinking, and your drive weakening. That's how powerful the wrong color can be. It shapes you in silence. And that is why this one specific color must be avoided at all costs in your home. Because while other shades can inspire peace, focus, or determination, this one does the opposite. It takes away your strength and replaces it with emptiness. And when it comes to building a life of growth, emptiness is the greatest enemy of all. 7. The reveal of the one color. That color is gray. On the surface, it seems safe, calm, and neutral. Many people choose it because they believe it looks modern, minimal, or sophisticated. But what they don't realize is that gray carries a hidden weight. It is the color of clouds before a storm, the color of concrete walls that feel cold and lifeless, the color of stillness that lacks direction. Gray does not inspire growth. It does not lift your spirit or encourage your dreams. Instead, it creates an emotional state of emptiness, a quiet sense of dullness that seeps into your daily life. When you surround yourself with too much gray, your subconscious begins to feel stuck, as if life is paused. Energy lowers, optimism fades, the drive to move forward weakens. You want to what weakened. Zedu Tania fount of gray and found it often connects to feelings of isolation, sadness, and detachment. It is not a color of movement, it is a color of stillness. And while stillness can sometimes bring peace, too much of it becomes suffocating. Living in gray is like walking through fog. You see no clear direction, no vibrant paths, only a blur of nothingness. This is why homes filled with gray often feel lifeless. People in those spaces may not understand why their motivation is gone, why they feel uninspired, or why the atmosphere feels so heavy. The truth is, the walls themselves are holding them. The energy of gray does not push you forward. It keeps you in place, quietly convincing you to settle for less than your potential. Your home should be the place that builds you, not breaks you. It should remind you of light, progress, and possibilities. And that will never happen when the dominant color around you is gray. If you want your environment to fuel your best self, then this is the one color you must avoid letting take over your home. 8. Why this color is dangerous to motivation. Gray weakens the very energy that pushes you forward in life. It is the color of indecision, the space between black and white, the in-between that never chooses a direction. When you live surrounded by gray, your mind begins to reflect that same state, uncertain, hesitant, and unwilling to take bold action. Instead of sparking clarity, it clouds your vision. Instead of building strength, it creates passivity. Human psychology shows that motivation thrives on stimulation. Brightness, warmth, and vibrancy signal the brain to wake up, to prepare for movement, to pursue goals. But gray delivers none of that. It tells the brain to slow down, to conserve energy, to retreat inward. Over time, this silent message becomes part of your daily reality. You wake up with less drive. You move through the day with less focus. You end the night with less hope for tomorrow. Gray also carries the weight of emotional emptiness. It lacks the passion of red, the growth of green, the calm of blue, or the optimism of yellow. It sits in the middle with no life of its own. That lifelessness transfers to the people who live in its presence. It creates rooms that feel heavy, offices that feel uninspiring, and homes that no longer feel alive. The greatest danger is that people often mistake this dullness for normal life. They assume they are unmotivated by nature when, in reality, their environment is feeding that state into them. Gray disguises itself as harmless neutrality, but what it really delivers is quiet stagnation. Your home should be your launchpad, the place that fuels your ambition and fills you with courage. But gray strips away that fire, replacing it with shadows of doubt and stillness. That is why it is not just a poor choice. It is a dangerous one. Because when your environment weakens your motivation, it weakens the future you are capable of building. 9. Real-life impact examples. Think about a person who wakes up every morning surrounded by gray walls. At first, it feels modern and stylish. But slowly, without noticing, they begin to feel less alive. They hit the snooze button more often. They sit longer before starting their day. Their energy fades not because of who they are, but because of what surrounds them. The color has become a silent weight on their spirit. Consider a child studying in a gray-painted room. Instead of feeling encouraged, their mind feels flat and uninspired. They may struggle to focus, not because they lack ability, but because the environment is feeding them nothing. Their brain searches for stimulation but finds none. Over time, learning becomes harder, creativity weakens, and they begin to feel disconnected from their own potential. Or picture someone working from home in a gray office. The tasks in front of them demand energy, vision, and persistence, but the walls whisper fatigue. The atmosphere says, slow down, hold back, stay still. The person may blame themselves for lacking drive, but the truth is, the color surrounding them is reinforcing that state of mind every single day. Even relationships can feel the effect. Couples living in gray spaces may find the environment lacks warmth. Conversations feel flatter. Moments together feel less vibrant. It is not that love disappears, but the energy that fuels connection becomes weaker. Gray creates a background of emptiness where emotions should thrive. These examples show one clear truth. Color is not decoration, it is influence. It can either empower or diminish, lift or lower, ignite or extinguish. And gray, when allowed to dominate a home, pushes people towards stillness, heaviness, and disconnection. It may look harmless, but its real impact is deep, shaping emotions, behaviors, and even the way people see their future. 10. How successful people use their spaces. If you study the lives of highly successful people, you will notice something powerful. They rarely leave their environment to chance. They know that their surroundings either fuel their vision or destroy it. That is why their homes, offices, and personal spaces are designed with intention. Every detail is chosen to reflect the energy they want to carry. They understand that their environment is an extension of their mindset. A space filled with dull, lifeless colors sends a message of stagnation. But a space alive with uplifting shades sends a constant reminder of growth, possibility, and strength. Successful people surround themselves with colors that stimulate focus, inspire creativity, and renew energy. Their walls, their furniture, their work areas, they all serve as silent partners in their journey. Think of the entrepreneur who builds an office bathed in energizing tones, so every day when they step inside, their mind switches into action. Think of the athlete who fills their personal space with strong, bold colors that remind them of victory, resilience, and progress. Think of the artist who avoids lifeless gray because they know inspiration cannot bloom in emptiness. These choices are not accidents, they are strategies. Success requires discipline, clarity, and vision. And those qualities are easier to maintain when your environment reflects them back to you. When you walk into a space that uplifts you, you feel stronger before you even begin your work. When you rest in a space that calms you, you recharge with real peace. This is how winners design their lives. They shape their surroundings so that every moment spent at home pushes them closer to their goals. The truth is, you don't need wealth or fame to do the same. You need awareness and a willingness to make changes. If the colors around you are pulling you down, you have the power to replace them with ones that lift you up. That is the hidden secret of success, shaping not only yourself, but also the world you live in every day. 11. The power of positive colors. Just as gray drains life, other colors have the power to give it back. They are not just shades to look at, they are sources of energy for the mind and fuel for the spirit. When you surround yourself with the right colors, you create an invisible force that pushes you forward, strengthens your focus, and restores your hope. Bright and warm tones, like yellow, are linked to optimism and clarity. They awaken the brain, reminding it of light, of sunrise, of new beginnings. A touch of green brings balance and growth. It connects the mind to nature, signaling renewal, stability, and fresh possibilities. Blue, in its softer forms, invites calm and focus. It quiets anxiety and opens space for clarity of thought. Even subtle shades of red, used wisely, can spark passion, determination, and action. These are not abstract ideas, they are the natural responses of the human mind. The right colors trigger associations that lift you instead of weighing you down. They make you feel safe where you need rest, energized where you need action, and inspired where you need vision. Over time, these emotional signals accumulate, shaping the habits, attitudes, and choices that define your life. Successful people use this knowledge with precision, but it belongs to everyone. You do not need to repaint your world overnight. Even small touches of the right colors can shift the energy of a space. A piece of artwork, a plant, a well-chosen fabric. These details remind your mind of growth and possibility. They create a silent dialogue between your environment and your potential. The message is simple: colors are tools, and tools shape results. When you invite positive colors into your home, you are not just decorating. You are building a foundation for energy, strength, and determination. You are telling your subconscious every day that your life is not meant to be dull, but a life with movement, growth, and light. 12. Your environment equals your energy. The truth is simple. Your surroundings either charge you or drain you. Every wall, every corner, every color you live with feeds into your mind and body. That is why your environment is not just background, it is the engine that powers your daily energy. And energy is everything. Without it, even the strongest goals remain untouched. With it, even the hardest challenges can be conquered. When you wake up in a space filled with uplifting colors, your body feels lighter, your thoughts move faster, and your spirit feels ready to rise. Your environment tells you that life is moving, that progress is possible, and that you are meant to take action. But when you wake up in an environment that carries dullness, heaviness, or lifeless tones, your body mirrors it. You feel slower, less driven, and less connected to your own purpose. Energy is not only about sleep or food, it is about what your senses absorb every moment of the day. And color is one of the strongest sensory signals of all. That means your environment is constantly shaping the level of fire you carry inside. If you surround yourself with emptiness, emptiness grows in you. If you surround yourself with vibrancy, vibrancy becomes your state of mind. This is why changing your environment is so powerful. A simple shift in color can reset your energy. It can transform a heavy atmosphere into one that breathes life. It can turn hesitation into movement, doubt into focus, and fatigue into determination. Your environment becomes a reflection of the future you want to create. Never underestimate the silent power of your surroundings. They are not just walls around you. They are mirrors of who you are becoming. If you want a life of strength, growth, and achievement, then your environment must speak that language every single day. Your energy is not random. It is designed by the choices you make about the space you live in. 13. The subtle influence of color on behavior. What many people overlook is that color doesn't just change the way a room looks, it changes the way you behave inside that room. It can either support discipline, focus, and clarity, or it can create distraction, restlessness, and fatigue. The human brain constantly interprets visual signals, and color is one of the most powerful signals of all. This influence is subtle, yet its effects are undeniable. Think about it. When you walk into a space painted with warm, energizing tones, you feel more awake, more alive, and more inclined to move forward with purpose. These colors quietly encourage action, making you feel that progress is within reach. On the other hand, when a space is dominated by heavy or overly muted shades, it can instill lethargy, a sense of stagnation, or even quiet discouragement. Without realizing it, you start carrying the weight of your environment into your own behavior. This is not about fashion or design trends. It is about psychology, discipline, and how your environment can either reinforce or weaken the habits you are trying to build. A color that fosters calm and focus in your living room may help you restore balance after a long day, while the wrong shade in your workspace may drain the very drive you need to pursue your goals. In other words, your environment teaches you how to act even when you're not paying attention. When you carefully choose the colors that surround you, you're not just decorating. You're designing the conditions for your own success. You're creating a space that encourages resilience instead of resignation, growth instead of stagnation. The right color scheme whispers the same message every day. Keep going, stay sharp, stay alive to your purpose. And that is the real power hidden within your environment. It's not about whether a room looks beautiful or impressive to others. It's about whether it strengthens you from the inside out. The colors you live with are silent teachers. They shape your behavior, your mindset, and ultimately the life you end up building.